Let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Governor DeSantis slashes arts funding. LGBTQ plus organizations face crisis. Florida's arts and culture scene face a dire setback as Governor Ron DeSantis recently eliminated most state funding for cultural arts programs in the upcoming fiscal year, dealing a severe blow to LGBTQ plus organizations already grappling with pandemic-induced challenges, giving the reason for the concerns about the appropriateness of the state taxes dollars. Governor DeSantis vetoed nearly $1 billion from the state budget, effectively halting years of bipartisan support for arts and culture initiatives. The impact is particularly harsh for LGBTQ plus arts organizations, including the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida and Stonewall National Museum Archives and Library, which face significant budget shortages due to the loss of state funding. The Our Fund Foundation, an LGBTQ plus philanthropic organization, supports numerous arts and culture nonprofits in South Florida. Its Arts and Culture Fund grants, in partnership with the Wharton Foundation, aim to alleviate some of the strain, but cannot fully compensate for the loss. The repercussions extend beyond artistic implications. Arts and culture funding generates a 9-to-1 return on investment, supporting jobs and tourism, and contributing to Broward County's annual economic impact of $386 million. David Jobin, president and CEO of the Our Fund Foundation, urges LGBTQ plus and allied philanthropists to step up and support the Arts and Culture Fund. Donations received before July 31st will help bridge the funding gap, ensuring the continuity of vital LGBTQ plus arts initiatives in South Florida. To support the Our Fund Foundation's Arts and Culture Fund, visit our-fund.org. I'm so happy for, the Our Fund to step up like that, as well as Broward County Cultural Division. Philip Dunlap also gave a comment as well. It was shocking. How anybody thinks that cutting arts and culture is good in any aspect, and economic benefits. Yeah, I mean, there's possible loss of jobs. There's now, that affects tourism as well, as we know, sure because, does. People come here and they want to do something. Yeah. And now, things are now cut. It also affects people that have jobs that are in the theaters and that are putting these productions together. It just trickles down all over. Yeah. It's pretty, it's undervaluing us, and in arts and culture, and it sends a very negative message. And, anybody that thinks that this was a good idea just really has a narrow mind, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. It reminds me of when I was younger. Let's say 25 or 30 years ago, and you guys can probably relate to this. And when we would be putting something together we had a mixed gay chorus back then that I was a part of, or we wanted to do something like that. People that were new to the community or had just come out, or even just allies, would give us ideas about what to do, and we would look at them like they were crazy because we didn't have the money to do it like that. No way. Yeah. Right? And then 20-ish years ago, that started to change. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, that has enabled us to be seen as more legitimate. There's something to do besides go to bars to meet other gay people. So many benefits from finally being seen as legitimate arts organizations. Everything from the Lesbian Thespians I'm a part of, to the Stonewall National Museum, and obviously to the Gay Men's Chorus, even to this organization here. All of these things, really, as we started to be able to ask for that kind of funding, is when it began to grow and become legitimized to the community we are today, that's not just hiding in bars. Yeah. So I just feel like we're going to suffer the most. Tourism in Miami is definitely going to suffer. And thank God for our fund, yes. And my wife, as the board chair for Lesbian Thespians, has learned so much from them, and they've gotten so much financial support. Thank God for our fund.
Listen, David Jobin is a class act, right? And he lives, breathes, and poops, making sure that other organizations have the money they need to successfully be able to entertain, to explore, to be their true authentic self, Going back to one of the other stories we were talking about, this breaks my heart because well, on so many different levels, right? But they know exactly what they're doing, folks. All right, they're targeting us in a different way. Who are the most
Absolutely.
people that are going to be affected by this? Are LGBTQ plus.
Absolutely.
That's it. This is like super devastating. You know, as a kid, I ran to Broadway because that was where I felt safe. I didn't feel safe in the hood where I lived in Passaic, New Jersey. I felt safe in the village. I felt off Broadway little shows, wherever I can get my 2 pennies to go see something, you know? That was our escape. So many LGBTQ plus people just are able to lose themselves in the arts.
Yeah.
Or even be able to express themselves in the arts.
Yeah.
Well, and we educated not just allies, but people that weren't expecting to see so much gayness in many occasions at the chorus, in the theater, etc.
Yes.
People learned by being exposed to that.
Yes.
And this is hurting all of those things.
Do you think?
No, and I absolutely agree with just like, you know, being in like drama class growing up. Like,
Right?
there was a lot of self-expression and losing ourselves in theater. So it's definitely going to affect us in like a very big way.
Very big way. How about you start dealing with the fact that nobody can afford their homes anymore, or that nobody can afford gas anymore, or the price of everything has skyrocketed.
Is that what he's going to do with the money? He's going to cut our taxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He's going to get some freaking people to give us insurance because no one will insure us here in Florida. No,
Right.
he's not going to do any of that. He's just going to make our lives.
And he had no intelligent comment, you know, real as to
As to why?
Why he really had
he never
nothing to
does.
say about it. So that spoke a lot to me. If you do not understand arts and culture, then I don't understand you.
Yeah, period. There it is.